morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay and see my screen? Okay, perfect. So thanks for taking your time and joining us today. I just wanted to start this presentation off today with showing you that Business Central is built for any device. So as we move to this day and age of the Internet of Things, you might want to access your application not only on your laptop, not only over an internet browser on your laptop, but maybe from your smart device. So here you can see, just quickly main screen, and then you can scroll through and see some, some of your favorite accounts that you're tracking, maybe some quick reports that you want to take a look at every once in a while. And yeah, basically if you were a salesperson or, doing some purchasing, hey, let's get started. And I just remembered I need to get this customer a quote. So make you more efficient in your day-to-day activities. So just wanted to highlight that right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the application in a bigger screen. So here we are on the main page when you log into Business Central. I'm using my Internet Explorer browser. As you can see, it's got some headlines here and then some actions over to the right that I might typically do. I'm logged in as my role as a business manager. So, if security is a concern, there's definite ways that in this application you can have different roles and different levels of security, tie down your different users to different activities. But for the most part, navigation should be similar to other Microsoft products that you use. Here you can see my company up here at the top left that I'm logged into is Cronus HQ. You can have multiple companies in the system and change between them just through your toolbar for the most part. And then across the top, I have, again, my menu items really that are relative to this role. So let's scroll down a little bit and see how we can set up things like queues or activities that are important to us, set different thresholds based on your preferences. And, if you're doing payables and you want to know, hey, do I have some invoices that are due? Sure. What's coming due? What's maybe past due? And let's scroll down a little bit more. You can see some trends that are going on, and you can also access product videos and get started, get help right online with this product. And here we can see, where this product really shines. It's got a lot of business analytics and intelligence tied right into your application that you're using for your day-to-day accounting functions for the most part. So get some business insight, as we call it. Right here we can see a quick cash flow, and just by hovering over, you're able to see some more details at a glance. Total receivables, payables, something to do with your cash flow. If I was doing, using jobs in Business Central or doing project accounting, as some might call it, I might have some employees who are, who need to log in and create a timesheet. So that's what this is over here to the right. And then we can scroll down. You can have your favorite accounts that you're tracking. Trial balance. You might be working there and want to see some data for your previous periods or upcoming periods to see some trends overall. Then if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see I've got my Power BI reports embedded right to this dashboard. So as you know, another product from Microsoft is called Power BI. The BI stands for Business Intelligence. And you can create these dashboards. Some are out of the box to start with, but it's a really great application that we do have other webinars on and we can always tell you more about. But right here you can see how you can embed these reports right into your dashboard page and click through, and just to give you an idea of how you would navigate and even see more. Maybe you wanted to see some trends, change your timelines, things like that. So all within one page to try to give you the quickest access to all your data and all your analytics. We also have a report inbox. So some of you might be on a system now where when you need to run a report, you might be tied on that screen and you can't do anything else while you're waiting for that report to generate. So here you can see I had these reports generated on schedule. And now they've completed, so now they're right here in my report inbox. And I can quickly open up those documents, basically PDF statements. But you can, because it is a Microsoft product, you can get your reports in a lot of those different Office applications that you're used to. So Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. So let's go ahead and take a look at creating a payable. So we're going to go over to the purchasing module. And here you can see on the top of the screen, I just clicked that down caret and it showed me more features, modules that are available within that purchasing section. Another way I can navigate in the system is up here on the right, there's a little light bulb. And so I can always drill into that and tell the system what I want to do. So here we can see purchase invoice comes up. Again, these are trying to help you get to what you need to do more quickly and easily in the system. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standard purchase invoice screen. So here you can see in the main page on the left-hand side, I have my form for the most part. And then on the right-hand side, I have what's called a fact box. I can also attach documents right to the system. And if I was using something like a document management system, I might have some incoming documents as well. So we'll go ahead here and create a new vendor invoice from our list of existing vendors. And we'll just do a standard item that we want to purchase, or an item that we purchased. We're just going to go ahead and buy a desk from them. But as you can see, you just quickly scroll through, you'll see that the required fields are highlighted with that red asterisk. Here you can see I have some additional columns, and these are all configurable where I can personalize my system and get rid of those columns that aren't needed. But we have everything we've entered that we need. And now you can see, because I did select Fabricam as my vendor, this vendor statistics area did get updated in the fact box, and you can see I do currently have a balance with them, etc. So we can go ahead and right from the top, this is where your actions are. So the way we're going to go ahead and post this transaction is just by clicking the process button and clicking post. If you did want to have workflow functionality and put this through some approvals process, you could definitely do that. You could release it and we could go to workflow step. There is another Microsoft product called Flow, and you could take advantage of Flow to tie in some workflow functionality. So now we can also take a look at vendors, because I know those are an important part of your purchasing. So we'll just go ahead and take a closer look at that Fabricam vendor that we just purchased something from. So here you can see some nice usability in the system. So, it's the way it's presenting the data. You can have it displayed in this more tabular format, or you can click the icon up here in the right and change it. Maybe you want to see things in a list if you had a lot of different vendors. And then, at a glance, you can see what's my balance due. If you don't want to see this fact box over to the right, you can go ahead and get rid of that by clicking the icon, and then you've even got more real estate on your screen. And then again, functionality where this ties into integrating with other Microsoft solutions like Excel. You can see here at the top, let's say I did want to change some of this vendor information. I could go ahead and click Edit in Excel, and it would go ahead and do that. So we'll look at that feature a little bit later. But let's dive into the vendor card just to give you an idea of some of the data that you can capture. So here you can see with this experience, you'll notice on these screens there's an area where you can elect to show more or show less. And this is just basically what Microsoft thinks you might need to use in order to maximize your real estate on your screen. This is all configurable as well. If you do need more fields, you can always work to get those defaults changed. Things like contact information are all here, and if you do want to have 1099 information stored in the system as well, this does do that. So you just indicate your 1099 code in this payments area. But for the most part, pretty standard functionality, so we'll just move along. So let's go ahead and take a look at paying some of these vendors. So if I go back to my Microsoft Office page and I launch Outlook, I can see how some of this stuff ties in. So let's just go back over and show you how to set up your inbox for Microsoft, because I didn't get a chance to do that earlier. So here we go. We'll just want to set up my email in Business Central. Nope. I've set up my inbox actually. So the system is pretty configurable. You should be able to do a lot of this setup yourself, but we can definitely help you out. It's it's geared to get you up pretty quickly. So some of these things, in your older systems, you might not have been able to get your mail set up without a lot of, big projects. But as you can see in a couple clicks, I just did it. So now I set up my Outlook so that it's going to tie into Business Central. And what that's going to allow me to do is hopefully be a little bit more efficient, because maybe like me, you guys are in your inbox 90% of your day. So it's nice to be efficient and take advantage of these Microsoft productivity tools like Outlook, like Excel. So here you can see now Christy Klein, she's one of my vendors, and it recognized that. So I'll go ahead and click this. The first time I connect to Business Central, I do have to log in. But then it'll be able to work with Business Central. So let's go ahead and sign in. So this is all tied to my O365 username. And here you go. Christy from Kraft Foods, her vendor card just popped up. So now I can see at a glance some of this aging information. It looks like I have a $50 balance with them. And then from here, we can go ahead and get started with some of these actions that we want to take. So I can go ahead and create a payment, apply a template, or use workflow right from within the system. If we wanted to create the new purchase invoice, because as you can see there was a purchase invoice, I would just go ahead and click that option and start creating my invoice right from here, and it would automatically be saved in the system. Just delete that line. Okay, so once that transaction is entered, we'll just jump over to Business Central. And we can go to our purchase invoices and see that that invoice was created. And there it is. So within the system, you have the option to put different controls and hopefully make it work more seamlessly for you. So the next thing we can take a look at is we'll get over to our chart of accounts. The nice thing about Business Central is it has dimensions. You're no longer tied to, a multi-segmented single account. With dimensions, you have a lot of flexibility to slice and dice your data. And you also don't have to blow out your chart of accounts to be super long. You can have greater control and data accuracy by defining some of these dimensions and restricting them based on the account that they're tied to, things like that. So here you can see the chart of accounts, and we've got our different account subcategories to group them together and the different account types. We could take a look at one of these accounts and just drill right down to it. So again, I'm diving down deeper into the system. Let's take a look at this accounts receivable. Why is this number where it's at? What were our sales coming from? So we'll drill right in. We'll get rid of this back box, and let's go ahead and drill down into one of these invoices. So here I'm going to go to Actions, and I'm going to go to Navigate. And here you can see it's showing my general ledger entries as well as this posted sales invoice. And by clicking on this number 1, I can go down into the actual sales invoice itself. And here you can see my customer was the School of Fine Art. And then you can see what this sales invoice consisted of. Just a couple pieces of furniture. So again, giving you the ability to drill down within the system, to make it easier to use. Similarly, you can do that on the payable side to see what purchase invoices you had. Another thing we might want to do from the screen is take a look at our account schedules, which are basically your income statements and balance sheets. Account schedules are another strength of the system because you can configure these right within this product. You don't need to use an outside reporting tool to get your financials. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at our income statement here. So here you can see, here's the design. So similar to maybe other reporting tools that you're using for your financials. You can see your different accounts. You can do your totaling in this other column. So these are kind of similar to your rows. And then if we go ahead and click on Navigate and Overview, I think I'm going to have to log out my backend. Bear with me 1 second. So another nice feature is everything gets saved automatically when you're in the system. So you don't have to worry about when things do happen, like the internet connection and you're losing your work. Hey, there's no save. It's automatically saved real time. So you don't have to worry about things like this. No stress. And so I am in a demo environment, so it is a little bit iffy sometimes, but here we go. So we're back in the system. So we were just taking a look at some account schedules. So again, to get to that, we can go to our Finance tab and go down to Account Schedules. And under More Options, when we hit Navigate and Overview, we can see, right now we're looking at this income statement. We're looking at it for the month of April. And we can see some of these numbers, and then we can drill into those right from the system. So again, you can get that level of detail just from drilling down. And granted, you do have to do a couple clicks here and there. but it might save you some time in the long run from having to create and develop reports. So here we can drill down and we can see those ledger entries that actually made up these custom materials balance. And then again, if you wanted to export this all to Excel, you can go ahead and we'll take a look at this feature where Business Central is tied to Excel. You can very easily get your data right into Excel, and you can actually make your changes and your edits, and it'll publish those changes right back into the system. So you can see it's just refreshing the data. It's just taking a minute here. Oh, it's retrieving a lot of records. So we'll go ahead and we'll cancel this. So let's do one more thing. Let's just go in and create a quick journal entry. And you can just get an idea of some of the basic functionality in the system as far as creating journals. So you can create, you know, deferrals for revenue and or expenses that go across years. That is a nice capability of the system. So we'll just go into here into our monthly journal, and we'll just go ahead and create a quick reallocation of an account. So one of the nice features is if you type in some information related to your account, you'll see a list pop up. It can identify which account you're referencing, and then you can go ahead and make that change, make that journal entry. So here you can go ahead and credit that account, debit that account. And you'll see below my accounts and balance. I've got my total debits and total credits. And basically, you know, this is a pretty configurable system where you can, like I said before, get rid of some columns if you don't need them. So then you just go ahead and we'll go ahead and post that transaction. And you'll see it was successfully posted. So I hope that gives you guys a good idea of some of the capabilities in Business Central. If we have any questions, please let us know. We can answer those now.
All right, it looks like we do have one question. Does this only integrate with Office 365? What if I use Google Mail?
I think I could take that one. This is Jason here. The application, as Melissa showed it, the little add-in for Outlook is, I think, specific to Outlook. That being said, one, Google Mail could be set up in the application to send emails, so you can use it from that perspective. And if you're using like Gmail or the Google Suite from an email perspective, there are other extensions that are out there. So it would not look and feel exactly like what we showed today, but there are certainly capabilities to integrate Google. But of course, Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, wants you to use their full productivity suite. And actually, as Melissa showed it, it is quite seamless. I could be working in Outlook all day, creating AP bills or purchase invoices. I could even be creating customer invoices. And there's a lot of things like business intelligence, where Microsoft is going to suggest what it thinks you should be creating from an invoice perspective. So there's a lot of little tools like that, you know, when you're using Outlook. And then if you are kind of married to Google or another email application, you'll look for kind of third parties to extensions to sort of connect the two environments. But it's a great question. Hopefully that helps.
All right, we've got one more. This is, what is the target company size for this application?
Oh, target companies, that's a great question. I'd say we tend to play in this small to medium size business range. And I know that's sort of a kind of a loaded statement. So we'll say if you're between 3 million and 100 million in revenue, this product tends to work. We've certainly seen folks who are larger and some who are smaller. I think the price point from a user perspective is conducive to allowing small and large businesses get in there. Really, it's more about your business and what you're trying to do rather than your size, because this is all hosted on the Microsoft cloud. So you don't have to worry about like the server. It's all on Azure. They have great uptime, and if you look at their SLA or their service level agreement, so it will scale with you. And smaller businesses can use it, and larger businesses as well. So it's flexible. But there is just being candid, there is an enterprise level product which was derived off of the old Microsoft AX product, which is sort of a highly customizable solution, but it's a little bit more complex. So the much larger organizations, a couple $100 million a year, even in the billions, would look to the enterprise level product versus what we're showing here today in Business Central.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions?
One more.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay.
This one says, are you able to copy and paste journal entries from Excel into the monthly journal entries?
Actually, that's funny that question came up. We were laughing about this morning. This is something they actually just added in the October release. So there's several capabilities to interact with Excel. As Melissa showed, you're able to edit in Excel, and it takes you into Excel, and you can change transaction there and update it. But now you can copy and paste. It's actually not in this version, but in terms of what we showed today. But in the October release, which dropped about a week ago, that is a new feature. So that could be a good follow-up for us, for the folks who attended. Maybe as we send out the information here and a link to the recording, we can send a screenshot of that capability or a quick little video. But yes, that is. And I know, again, speaking from my other ERP experience, folks in GP, folks in SL, those are some kind of tried and true functions that people have used over the years. Microsoft is trying to take on some of that. Even Smart List is another one. If you're familiar with a Dynamics GP, they're adding that here in the product as well. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of investment from Microsoft. But that's a good thing for folks who are signing on, because each month you get a new release, a new update, and that then becomes available to you as a user. So hopefully that answers the question as well.
Awesome, great, thank you, Jason. We can hold on the line for anybody else who has any additional questions, but it looks like that pretty much answers everything for now. Well, I just want to thank you all for attending today. Thank you, Melissa and Jason, for answering questions and giving us this overview. If you think of anything, obviously reach out to your CAM. They'll be happy to help you and walk you through everything. We'll send the recording of this webinar within the next 24 hours. And don't forget to take this short survey and let us know how we did. But thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week.